Welcome back to a linguistic approach to English grammar. In this video, we're going to talk about adverbs. Now, adverbs are a very broad category. They modify verbs, which is where the adverb comes from, or they give background information for the entire sentence. So they really serve two purposes, which is different from a lot of other categories that we've seen so far. For instance, nouns are always representing concepts or concrete objects. Adjectives are always describing nouns. Verbs are always the action or sensation of a sentence. But here, adverbs can either describe the verb or describe the entire sentence. There's four different types of adverbs, and they each answer a different question. So one is how. How did something happen? And these are called manner adverbs or adverbs of manner. So this would be an adverb like slowly. How did they eat the cake? Slowly. How did they fix the crack in the wall? Well, they fixed it quickly. Or they fixed it sloppily. So this means that they did a poor and quick job of it. There are adverbs that answer when. So these are called adverbs of time. So these are words like yesterday, words like now, or today. So normally, these describe the entire sentence. So these are adverbs of time. Some adverbs answer the question, where? And these are called adverbs of location. Some adverbs of location are words like here and there. Or it might just be the word inside. Now, these words stand alone. So if we said inside a house, that is not an adverb. But if we just say he is inside, or inside the people were all sleeping, then we have an adverb. So these words will stand on their own. The last adverb type is the adverb that answers the question, how often? And these are called adverbs of frequency. So the word how often has an adverb in it, actually. Often, so I do it often. Or you might have an adverb like rarely. I rarely do it. Or I always do it. So do you drink water? I always drink water. So we have these four different types of adverbs. Now, most of these adverbs behave very similarly in a sentence. So in these three sentence frames, we can fit most adverbs. So I did it yesterday would be fine. Or I did it now. I did it then. I did it quickly. We can have an adverb of frequency. Well, I did it rarely, but I did do it. So these are all fine. And these describe the action. So this is talking about when you did something. I will blank do it. So these are really good for your adverbs of frequency. Like I will never do it. Or I will always do it. We can't use adverbs of time here. So we cannot say I will now do it. Actually, wait, we can. I will now do it. But we can't say I will yesterday do it. That doesn't make sense. So I guess now is an exception there. I will now do it. But we cannot say I will today do it, I will tomorrow do it, I will yesterday do it. Those do not work. The last position works for pretty much any adverb here. So yesterday I left is fine as long as it talks about the past because the word left is in the past tense. Or you might say quietly I left. So you snuck out of the house without anyone noticing. So if you have an adverb of manner, frequency, or time, you have an adverb that has what's called mobility, meaning that it can move around. So here's the same sentence three times. They diffuse the explosives. And we can put an adverb into any one of these three positions. So, for instance, let's take the word quietly. So we could say, quietly, they diffused the explosives. They quietly diffused the explosives. They diffused the explosives quietly. So all three of these work. And this is a really good test to see if you have an adverb. Can you move it around in the sentence? with the word now we saw before. So there's one adverb of time here. Now they diffuse the explosives. They now diffuse the explosives. They diffuse the explosives now. What about an adverb of frequency? So often they diffused the explosives. They often diffused the explosives. They diffused the explosives often. Maybe they're a bomb squad who is called in for quite a bit of work. So these three different adverb types have a lot of mobility. Adverbs of location, other than the word now, so that's an adverb of time. I'm thinking of adverbs like here or there, those adverbs of location. They can only appear either before or after a clause or sentence. So we could say something like, here they diffused the explosives, or they diffused the explosives here. We could not say they here diffused the explosives. Okay. Another word, of course, would be something like there, or the word inside. So inside, they diffused the explosives. They diffused the explosives inside. So if you have an adverb of location, do not expect it to appear right before the verb. It has to appear either at the beginning of a clause or at the end of a clause. So let's take a look at this sentence and let's try to find the adverbs. You can pause the video if you want. Okay, yesterday we went swimming with angry dolphins. I seldom get the chance to do it, so I have been quite excited. Okay, take a look here. Well, the first adverb we have is yesterday. This is an adverb of time. Okay, and we can check. So we could move it to the end of a sentence. We could say, we went swimming with angry dolphins yesterday. That would be fine. Okay, next sentence. I seldom get the chance to do it. Okay, seldom. This is an adverb of frequency. So this tells us how often. And we could move this to the beginning of the sentence. Seldom I get the chance to do it. Or, well, if we move it to the end of a sentence, it doesn't quite sound great. In fact, seldom is one of these adverbs that we really don't use outside of writing. So seldom meaning not often. It is definitely not an adverb that would be spoken to often, but you might see it in writing. And often we would see it right before the verb. Okay. So I have been quite excited. Well, that's it. We only have two adverbs here. In fact, normally in writing, we don't see too many adverbs. Adverbs are something that are used a lot more in storytelling and a lot more in speech, because when you tell stories, you want to give a very precise description of what's happening. Like, he ran quickly, or he ran he ran roughly through the woods, meaning he kind of went in and out of the woods, but didn't quite stay in the whole time. So yeah, if you have any questions about adverbs, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I will do my best to answer them as soon as I can.